Hello there, Tifa Lockhart here, and I'm here to review Theatrhythm Final Bar Line. So, I will start this by saying that I have never played another because I know there are other theater rhythms that came out before this one, and I have never played any of those, so there will be no comparisons to past gameplay mechanics. I will just talk about my experience with the most recent one that has all the Final Fantasy music up until Final Fantasy 15. When they announced they were gonna launch a game that is about the Final Fantasy music and as a rhythm game, of course I was immediately excited with the idea because I love, from the few Final Fantasy games that I have played so far, I love the music they have in them, and I couldn't be more excited to play both the music that I already knew of and the music I still haven't heard because I haven't played the games yet. So I was excited for both, and as soon as the demo was available, I tried it out to see how the mechanics would work, if maybe, because unfortunately Square Enix did a rhythm game that I also tried, which was Melody of Memory, the rhythm game associated to Kingdom Hearts. And let me say, I am not a fan of that one. So I was a little bit skeptical after that experience, but I went ahead and tried the demo. I was immediately hooked. I just loved the way the controls were done, the rhythm game was done, the different difficulties for each song. I just thought everything was amazing, and I even got a little bit mocked by my boyfriend because he was like, "Are you trying to do a platinum of the demo already?" So I was immediately hooked on the demo, just the demo, and actually the demo does have a good variety of music available, so that was also a surprise. Then a friend of mine was able to lend me the game, which was André Viana. Thank you so much once again for letting me experience that game, but I will say, I should have bought the game when it came out. Or then again, I also wanted the game with the season passes and all the DLC stuff. They have music from the Nier games, both Nier Automata and Nier Replicant, the Octopath Traveler games, which I have had the opportunity of listening to the music and I know it's amazing, and a lot of other games that made it to the season passes. And if I bought the game now, I would really want to buy the version with all the music that is available. So for people that are looking for story in the game, I will say, this game has no storyline. It gives you the treat to be able to see the characters, form a team of the characters that are most beloved to you, because it's not only a rhythm game, but it doesn't really have a story. So if you're interested in something that has a story to go with it, to keep you, let's say, motivated to go from song to song, then this game is not for you, because there's no storyline to guide you through the music of the different games. It's really just a rhythm game. You just go, select your favorite Final Fantasy, and experience the songs through a rhythm game. And it's just that. They give you the treat of putting scenarios related to the song that you're listening to, or to the Final Fantasy that it represents. But other than that, you don't have any character development, any big story, or even just a simple, premise to the game. It's just playing rhythm games. But they do add something besides the mechanic of the rhythm. So if you look at the bottom half of your screen, you will see that you will form a team of 4 characters that will go along in your rhythm journey. And they are there, as you do hits, greats, perfects, whatever you do. They are able to land criticals and good attacks and heal themselves. Of course, you also have the menu for you to be able to select what kind of abilities, spells you have for them. There's no equipment, but you can also sometimes select different versions of the same characters. For example, Final Fantasy has the Advent Children version for the characters and stuff like that. So they will be on the bottom half of your screen, fighting monsters that come on your way. And of course, as you reach the end of the music, you will have increasingly more difficult bosses, and depending, of course, if it's an epic music, it will basically be a boss rush. You know, it depends, and they try to take that into consideration. And of course, if you miss, that gives an opening for the monster that you're fighting to maybe deal a critical hit to your team, and you also take more damage. You have these small details, but it's not for you to be actually focusing on what's happening on the bottom half of your screen. It's just to add something more and to add objectives to the music. Because of course you can just, play the music and ignore the extra objectives that they give you, but they will give you rewards for completing those, so you kind of feel, and it's like an extra challenge, so you feel tempted to follow these challenges, challenge yourself and get a reward by completing it. So you have different mechanics for the actual rhythm game. They don't really make really stiff commands for you to follow. You have like areas of your controller, like left, right, it's more or less divided, and upper part and half part of the controller. And it's not, you have various possibilities and combinations according to what is best for you. For example, I will say, for me, it was more practical for me to use R1, L1 to do the beats and the longer notes, and then you of course you have to use the joystick to do the slide indications. That's basically what you need, but you can choose other buttons if you are more comfortable that way. So you have the red beats, which you just press on the right time. You have the green beats, which you press and you hold it and then release at the right time. And then you have the slides with the joystick. It can be just a simple slide. And then you have the special green ones where you need to press the beat, hold it, and with the joystick let it roam through the curve line that they have on the screen. I sometimes got a little bit confused with those. And those are basically the things that you have to do. You need to be a little bit attentive on the ones that you need to guide, but other than that, it's pretty simple. But it's pretty simple while you are on the easier difficulties, because playing on easy, normal, I will say, I did all the songs on normal. First attempt, always got a rank upper than A, so it's pretty easy to do them on normal. Easy, let's not talk about it even. But as you go to hard and to the other one, which I actually don't remember what it was called, those difficulties really bring it up a notch. It's going from normal to hard is a huge step. I will say, I felt that it was a huge difficulty spike from one and to the other. And you will start to have more confusing commands because they will put a beat and you are with the underhand doing slides, and then you have to hold one but release the other one is doing other rhythms at the same time. So you need to, if you want to face harder difficulty or higher, you need to be really know really well the music that you're doing, and also be very attentive to the stuff that is happening on screen. Unfortunately, I'm not the very attentive one because I kind of lose myself in the music, so the harder difficulties do demand a lot of me when it comes to just keeping check of what's happening on the screen. Of course, I will say, even though it's doable to do all the music, even though you haven't played the games or don't know the music from those games, it's doable. I will say that in rhythm games, I always find it easier to know the music beforehand because I know what the music is going to do next. And that makes also the commands for the rhythms, for the inputs, more predictable. I think that helps a lot. But then again, that may be just me. It's just my 2 cents about that. Other than that, it's a very simple game, a lot of fun. You are able to, revisit that and have fun. And I just think it's so worth it. I would be very, very curious and delighted to try the season pass and try, because there are games there that I also want to play, games that I have played, and I would love to hear the music and try to play the rhythm game there. I just think it's a game I really recommend to anyone that is a fan of Final Fantasy music. And you even have the music from the spin-offs. You have from Final Fantasy Chronicles, Crystal, Type 0. It isn't just for the mainline games. And if I'm not mistaken, after Final Fantasy 16 came out, they also did an update or added it as a DLC to one of the season passes. Not sure, but I'm pretty sure that they also added a few music from Final Fantasy 16. So it's a very complete game overall, such a fun experience as a rhythm game, and I do recommend it if you are a fan of rhythm games and Final Fantasy music. If you are looking for something a little more interactive and a little bit more enjoyable in terms of storyline, maybe this is not the game for you. But yeah, if you have the other two requisites that I shared, please do give it a try and do share your thoughts on what you thought of those. Of course, there's not any reason for me to talk about the soundtrack because the soundtrack is amazing. There's really not much point in talking about graphics in this game. They do these chibi versions of the songs. Oh, and by the way, I almost forgot. They also have special video clips / cutscenes from the games for certain songs like Suteki Dane and Aerith's theme, and with the scenes from the original Final Fantasy VII. That was such a treat. Of course, I'm referring specifically to those because unfortunately, since I haven't played the other Final Fantasy games, I kinda stayed away from those special video clips because I'm pretty sure I would get spoilers for other games that I still haven't played. So it's a shame, but I didn't check out those very much. So yeah, be aware of those if you haven't played yet all Final Fantasies and you need to stray away from spoilers. I do promise that if one day I get the DLCs, I will play them on my Twitch because I really want to check that music, and I would just be so happy to revisit the game because it's something so fun that you can play for like 10 minutes or 2 hours without feeling bored. At least it's the kind of game that really makes me relax and just keeps me entertained. So if you like this video, please like the video, subscribe, follow my Twitch if you want to check all my content live, and once again, thank you so much for being there, and I hope to see you next time. So may music always be your life.